Yo, annihilation, love the whole, the vibes. This episode of Alpha v Beta, I kind of want to talk about my thoughts on feminism, right? Not even just a few hours, I think an hour ago or something. I made or a few minutes ago, I don't know. I made what's it called? I made an episode with my friend's podcast, right? And it was about well, he kind of mentioned the topic about feminism, right? And it got me thinking. It kind of made me want to do an episode all about it, right? Because I didn't really go into it as much as I kind of wanted to. Go check it out. It's I think it's episode 31. I'm in it. Tired high recaps. I think that's what it's called. Go check it out. Episode 31. You can check out the older ones. I'm in them too, so you guys can see where I started and where I'm at now, and like my information and shit. But yeah, the new one is 31. I talked a little bit about stuff. So yeah, go check it out. Anyways, yeah, I kind of want to talk about a little bit of feminism because, you know, um, I don't want you guys to think I'm a full-on misogynist or I hate females. I love females. Everyone knows that shit. Everyone knows me at least. But but yeah, I kind of wanted to get into a little bit of feminism, right? On my thoughts on it and what I think is good because of it, and what I disagree with it, right? What I think is bad from it. All right, let's start with the good things, right? The reasons I think, and I this is more like facts and like my opinions, obviously, but like I kind of did a little bit of research into this stuff, and right, so it's facts and on why it's good and why it's bad. All right, let's start with the goods, I guess you can say. The first one, men would hit females, right? I know not now, right? I know back in the day, guys would hit females, right? And if a man did hit a female, it was her fault. Other people, other female, other males would say, "Oh, why'd you make him mad?" Or why are you with him? He's a woman beater. All this stuff, right? If you look back in the day, back in like in the old days and stuff, a lot of men would beat their women, right? They would beat them with objects or just physically, like with their hands, and it was just really bad about it. And if a, and it would always be her fault. It would always be the female's fault for why she got beat, right? Um, and yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to believe it now that we live in these times, but back in the day, females would get hit and beaten by their husbands or boyfriends, or whatever, and it was always her fault for him beating him, for him beating her. Why would he? Why would she get him mad? So that's something I think is a good reason why feminism, because now you don't get that anymore. Another one, back talking. Um, females would also get hit and beaten for back talking, right? And it's like it's not. It's like it's fucked up, right? Because it's like, why would what I mean? Why would you consider a human being, a full-grown female, back talking? It's like, what I mean. It's like you're acting like they're like it's slavery, or like it's like they're little kids and stuff, right? They can't have their opinions, they can't speak. So it's like, I agree with the feminism, because feminism changed this. It changed the fact that now females can have their opinions, and they are allowed to quote unquote back talking, because I personally don't think a female talking is back talking, because if you're having an argument, obviously she's a grown ass woman, she can talk, she can talk to you. But and it's not her fault that you don't know how to handle that stuff, right? It's and females get beaten for that, so it's like, what I mean, it's not her fault that you get emotional, you act beta, and you beat your female, because like disagree with beating a female like this. That's the lowest you can do. That's the most beta thing you can do, is beat a female, because that does not show masculinity. It doesn't show alpha. It just shows you're weak. You're weak-minded. You have to fight, because you can't control your emotions. But yeah, like females couldn't talk. They couldn't have opinions, or disagree with things, right? Because it would be considered back talking, so they would get beat for that. So that's another thing that the feminism movement changed, right? Now they're allowed to, to quote unquote back talk, right? Which, it isn't back talking, it's just having an opinion to disagree, or just argue back, you know what I mean? Another one, raping females, right? Again, back in the old days, raping a female, it would be their fault, right? They would how you call this? They would get raped, right? They would, and then they would get blamed for it. They would be like, "Oh, why'd you you know what I mean? Why'd you go to what's it called? Why'd you go to his house late at night? Or, why'd you why do you like go with that man if you know what he wanted, or everything, just shit like that, right? Excuses like that. And it's like, it's not their fault, you know what I mean? It's not the female's fault to get raped. And back in the day, they would blame on the female, not the male. That why is she going late at night? And I know, to this day, I still know people that think like that, and it's fucked. Because, see, no matter what time it is, no matter where you are, if a female comes over, you have no right to, rape her, right? Because if she says no, it's a no. Like, you have no right to touch her. That's weak. That's beta shit right there. If she says no, if she's even like touching you, she's sucking your dick, but she doesn't want you to fuck her, you know what I mean? You don't touch the female. She could be fucking doing all this other shit on you. She could be butt naked on you. But if she says no, it's no. I don't give a fuck. You don't rape her. Um, you don't rape her, right? Back in the day, you know, females would get and shit for that, right? People, and that's shit testing. That's because you can't handle shit test, right? You can't handle that shit. If she's doing that, you don't rape her. You just, toss her to the side, and when she's ready to have sex, then she can come back. But you don't rape the female. Never. That's weak. Okay, next one. Bosses would or like just yeah, he's like, bosses and shit would always pursue females and bother them to, or pressure them to have sex with them, right? And females back in the day, I know they they didn't have necessarily a lot of, they didn't really want to lose their position, or their work, other jobs and shit, right? So they would you know have sex with them, right? And I'm not gonna say all of them, because I'm pretty sure, there was probably a few females there that did want to have sex with them, right? But I know most females back in the day, they were pressured into having sex, and they did it just because they didn't want to lose their work and their jobs, right? They felt pressured. And now feminism, they don't do that anymore, right? Because you can get charged for that shit. But but back then, the bosses would do that, would pressure females to have sex with them, and they would, because they didn't want, they were scared to lose their jobs, and lose their positions and shit, right? So it's another thing that feminism fixed, and I support that. The next one is, when female, females sometimes they like they'll be 40s or 50s, and then, or like, older, and then they will bring up a situation 20 to 30 years ago, that they got raped, right? And a lot of guys in this generation, right, would obviously think it's bullcrap because of how it is now, right? A lot of females make up that shit nowadays, but back in those days, they how you call this, they were true, because when a female couldn't get, told, they couldn't tell anyone for raping, right? Because, like I said before, it'll either be their fault, or no one would believe them, you know what I mean? And I know this happens many times, like, for example, that stepdads, right? A lot of stepdads would always, touch and molest, or rape their the female, right? Their stepdads would do that shit, and they wouldn't tell their moms, because their mom wouldn't believe them. And even if they did, it was their fault, because, back in the day, it's your fault if you know the man raped you. So I feel that's something else that, it fixed, because now, if like, what I mean, now, you know how it is now. But back in the day, and a lot of females would get raped for their stepdads, and they wouldn't believe them. You know what I mean? The mom wouldn't believe them, so they wouldn't really have anyone else to tell. If the mama doesn't believe them, then who would? But yeah, that's pretty fucked up things. Like I said, you don't rape a female. And all I say all this shit because I have a sister and I have a mom I live with them, right? And that's really all I really have, right? I'm gonna come up with an episode about talking about my personal life and shit like that, right? But let you guys know a little bit more about me. But yeah, you know what I mean. So I support the feminism movement. You know what I mean. But again, there's pros and cons to it. So in a bit, I'm gonna get into why I disagree with a few things about it. This is all my thoughts on feminism. It's not if I agree or disagree or support it or not support it. Just letting you guys know. But yeah, right. So a lot of females wouldn't get believed for telling the rape stories and you know like for example the stepdads and shit, right? A lot of stepdads have raped or molested or shit like that, touched their stepdaughters and shit, right? Which is really fucked. But back in the day, that you couldn't say anything because you get blamed for it. Some of them would get like blackmail, I guess you could say, to pressure to have sex with them, right? But yeah. My next one. They would never really get good chances on good jobs, right? So that the whole payment thing. I think that was true. I talked about a little bit of this on my last episode, but I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more on the past, right? Cause see, now I do think that females now, like nowadays, they do have the potential to have a better job than a male, right? Obviously, and they just chose not to, and they just choose to complain. You know what I mean? I do believe that, but I know that back in the day, they wouldn't be able to have good jobs and shit, right? Because like it was shown that the male had to do all the heavy work and the female had to do the easy work, and most of the time you would get paid more for doing the heavy work. You know what I mean? You get paid more for doing those type of works than doing the one that the females were only looked for, right? And because in the day they couldn't think that a female could do a man's job, right? Which nowadays obviously has changed, and obviously anyone can do any job, no matter the gender. But back then, you you couldn't, right? So then, and it's weird because I know that a lot of females would be able to do males' jobs better than the males could, right? They'd be a lot more sharper and smarter and know how to manage things better, right? But because they were females, they weren't given the chance to. So I feel like feminism changed that, and which is great. But yeah, those are the what I think are the good things of feminism. But now I want to move on to the bad things. I don't think feminism was full on the best, right? The first thing I think is bad about it, um, is the fact that now females want more. You know what I mean? Now they got too carried away with it, and they want equal rights. They have them now, but now they want to make them feel. Now they want females to be better than males, right? Which I think is very very unfair, right? Because you know, in a way, they are better than us, or have more. See, they're not better than us because we are males and we can, um, I'm not even gonna get into that. I'll get into a different episode. But just saying, we are able to, we are successful base, right? We go for what we're successful for, and we can build an empire, and a female usually joins the one, right? But not the feminism movement make them think that they can, which they can, but they're not good under pressure, and I've seen this many times that females don't work well when they're stressful or under pressure, which is why a male is a male's job to do that, because if a male can work under pressure and stress and shit like that, right? He could get through it. A female can't, and I've seen this many times. But yeah, I'm not really gonna get really into that. I'm gonna get into that in a different episode if you guys want. But yeah, let me go back to the what I think is bad, right? Like I said first, I feel like females think they're a lot better than males, and that they can now they want more. Now they want more rights. Now they want more us male to be under them, right? Which I think is very unfair and stupid. But yeah, another one. Females can hit men, and we can't defend ourselves, right? Um, I've seen this in many videos and many places, even in real life, that a female can slap the fuck out of the male, and the male can't do shit about it because if he does, he gets arrested and she gets off the hook. I feel that's very unfair. I feel like if she's hitting him, that's still assault, so she should get arrested as well. But because she's a female and the feminism stuff, she gets a slide with it, right? She gets away with it, where the man can't do anything about it, can't even defend himself, because if he does, he can get arrested for it. You know what I mean? So that's something I feel like it's very fucked, right? Because now all these females are very masculine and very entitled, right? Which that's gonna be my last point. So I'm gonna save that for that one. Next one though. A woman can, you know how a lot of females nowadays fake their sexual harassment stories, and they say that they are raped and all this shit, which is a lie. You know what I mean? But you know, so they say all that shit nowadays, and it's all a lie. But nowadays, because of the feminism movement, if a woman even says that you sexually harassed her, they will fire you off your job if you work somewhere, right? They will fire you, and they will arrest you without necessarily giving any improvement, right? It's only because she said it. They won't do the investigation. They won't do all this. They will just automatically view you as a rapist, or that you sexually assaulted her, without necessarily looking for any proof, and investigate a little bit more, right? So that's another thing the feminism movement did, and I've witnessed this with my own eyes, and I've seen this, that it ended up being false, right? But the female said something, that she got raped or sexually harassed, and it's the same thing, and he got fucking he got flamed left and right for it, right? He got viewed as a rapist. He did this and that. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't working, so he didn't get fired. But most people get fired over that shit. But he he was viewed as a rapist, and then it ended up being that she was capping, she was fucking lying, she was making shit up. So that's another thing that feminism did. That if a woman says that shit, it will you will lose everything without it actually being true, without them actually doing an investigation and proving it first. And now my last one is it made females very masculine, very entitled, and very, yeah, and very, like, very entitled and very masculine, right? It makes them, because see, now they think that the man should do everything for them. Now they're saying that, oh, I'm a female, so now I feel entitled to you pursuing me, or you talking to me, or you calling me every day, because I'm a female, I'm entitled, right? 'Cause they're so masculine like that. They think that they always want to put the blame on the male, right? Instead of taking actually what's it called, when taking accountability and shit like that, right? They always want to, they feel entitled. So, oh, you have to give me this just because of what's been between my legs, right? Or what I mean, just act very masculine, act like you gotta, act like they're top shit, and now us males have to prove to her why we're better, right? Why we're good for her, or all this shit, which it shouldn't be like that. I generally think it should be equal. I think that the female should pursue you one day, and then you should pursue her the next day, and like that. But like, these females nowadays aren't like that. They're very entitled, so they think that and masculine, right? So they think that you should, go for her, and if you're looking at her, you're like, trying to, like, catch her attention. They start cussing you. They start fighting you. They start want to fight you and shit. That's like, what type of shit is that? You know what I mean? That's like one thing the feminism shit does, that made females very masculine, very, very where before they wouldn't do that shit, right? But now they want to fight you. They want to, what the fuck, like, they talk rudely, talk all masculine and shit, and they're entitled to, they think a male should do everything for her and risk his life for her, but she shouldn't do shit about him, right? So yeah, and I know back in the day, females would pursue the male, and the male would pursue her when they liked each other, right? And nowadays you have to pursue her 24/7, and she doesn't have to do shit, right? So that's something, unless she has really high interest, right? But like, most of these females just have this entitlement of the male should do everything without her. He should break her he should break his back without her having to do anything about it, right? Having to help him anything, just because he's a male and she's the female, so now she feels entitled. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it, though. That's pretty much everything I came across. it's very it's I don't know. I think that, this is my opinion. I feel like the feminism had a good cause and it's but it still had a bad cause into it because I kind of give a few examples here, but a lot of these females are very entitled nowadays and masculine, and do all this dumbass shit that they shouldn't be doing. But back in the day, I can see why they made it, right? So I kind of support it in the sense that it changed everything how females used to be. But I disagree with it at the same time because now these females do all the shit they do now. You know what I mean? So my opinion. I don't hate females. I just understand them, and I kind of use them to use my I acknowledge, I guess you could say, my knowledge um to deal with them, right? To take advantage of it. But I know them, and I support it. I support support the feminism because, like I said, I have a sister and I have a mother and I have aunts and and shit like that, right? And female cousins and stuff, right? But um, and, so I can kind of see a lot of these like rape stuff and all this shit, right? So it's like I can kind of see where I support it because I don't want to, I have my mom and my sister, right? But I also see the side where now it affects. Now they're taking over it. Now they're going, they're overboard with it, right? So it's like I feel like it should be on a. I feel like this should be more of a equal thing, right? And how these females have the upper hand on us, right? But yeah, um, that's pretty much all I have for today. I'm gonna be dropping a few videos after about stuff I just talked about now. I usually always just go back to my videos and listen to what I talked about. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the episode. Please leave some messages, voice messages. My email is in the description of the show, so you guys go check there if you guys want to send me emails. I have my Instagram page on the description as well, so you guys can always just go check on that page as well, because you guys can just go on my Instagram, like I said last episode. Follow my Instagram. You can DM me if you want any personal if you want to ask any personal questions, or you want me, or just any video suggestions, right? You guys can give me advice on what you guys think I should do better for the show, or you guys can just ask a question and I'll definitely answer them on the show, right? And the more questions I do, the more questions I'll answer them, and etc., right? Sometimes if I feel like they're very important questions, I'll make a full video on the topic. But yeah. Soon I will. So follow the Instagram. So I'm gonna go back. Follow the Instagram. Talk. Follow it. Stay tuned to it because I'm gonna be giving a lot of more advice. Not advice, sorry, but more announcements and more details on what's gonna happen with the show. I'm gonna be giving you guys links and stuff like that to go to different things. And I kind of want to make a live type of thing, right? So you guys can join, and then I can talk to you guys on live. You guys can ask questions right there, so I can answer them right in the moment. I kind of want to do some phone calls things, so I might, check in the Instagram. I might, post things and give you guys a number so you guys can call, and then I will call you guys, and we'll make episodes on that. And then I'll also, if I can, I'll make a live streaming thing, so then you guys can do the same thing, and then I can, you guys can send messages and I'll answer them, and then you guys can call me and I'll answer them as well. And then yeah, I want to do some big things for the show. So yeah, please show some love and support. Help the channel grow. Help the channel. I always say this every episode. Help the show grow. Um yeah, just share the episode. Share with your friends. Someone that that's going through a hard time with their FEMA heartbreak, and I'll definitely make videos on that type of stuff and how to deal with them. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, if you guys want to know anything about me, if you guys want to know anything about my past or anything, just let me know. I'll make videos on it. I will answer your questions, anything. But yeah. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'm out. Peace.